What is up, everyone? Boshi here, back at it in Raid Shadow Legends, and you knew it was just a matter of time until another fusion was announced, and that is what just happened. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Alright guys, so like I said, another fusion has been announced for next week on June 7th. So definitely get ready for this. It is definitely a champion that I will be going for, and you'll see why in just a second. But like usual with the fusion reviews, I'll put his image up on the screen, I'll put his skills up on the screen as I read through them, but I will be reading his skills on my other monitor, so I will be looking away every once in a while just to read through it. But yeah, let's just get right into the review. So first off, his name is going to be Hurndig, and he is going to be from the Dwarven Faction. So yes, that is why I will be going for him, because dwarves are my favorite faction. But yeah, so he is going to be a classic fusion from what we understand. We did kind of ask this question in the content creator chat because we were kind of baited by the last classic fusion, quote unquote, where it was a mixture of the fragments and you had to participate in every single event and whatnot. So hopefully they learned from that. We will be doing a regular classic fusion from what we understand, so that means you need some food for rares and the epics. You'll need potions, which potions aren't as bad anymore with the level 20 potion keeps being out, so hopefully you guys are able to do those and you have no shortage of the superior pots and stuff needed. But yeah, and we also have a champion training event going on for the 12th Polarium anniversary, so it's somewhat a good time to be leveling some food in preparation for this fusion. Next, he is going to be a attack type champion, and then he is going to be a magic affinity. So let's go ahead and jump right into his kit. So on the A1 we have Lethal Lust, attacks one enemy, grants an extra turn, and decrease the cooldown of your Stasis strike skill by 2 turns if this attack kills an enemy. So right off the bat, not a very good A1 in my opinion, unless he has crazy multipliers where it's going to be easy to kill people with his A1. But yeah, you're not getting any type of debuff on the A1 at all. You're only gaining something if you actually kill someone. But yeah, let's go ahead on to the A2. So A2 is going to be Arcane Tempest, attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a decreased defense debuff, and a 50% decreased accuracy debuff for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. Really good ability right off the bat, an AoE, drop a defense, and decrease accuracy. I'd imagine you're going to be able to book that up to 100% chance, and then the cooldown maybe down to 3 turns. But overall, a really cool ability. I like the fact that it's bringing the big decreased defense, and then also a very underrated debuff in terms of decreased accuracy. In terms of decreased accuracy, I think it's a really good debuff when it comes to dungeons and Doom Tower waves, and even PvP, right? There's just a bunch of things that you don't want to be hit by anymore, especially at the higher end dungeons, right? You have the dragon poisons, you have ice golem freeze. For PvP, decreased accuracy is huge there. And then you also have Doom Tower waves and just Doom Tower bosses that you don't want debuffs from. So overall, I think a very good combination for this ability with the decreased defense and decreased accuracy. So I'm a very big fan of the A2. Then we have the A3 called Stasis Strike. So this is the ability that will get a cooldown reduction if you kill an enemy with the A1. So attack one enemy, fully depletes the target's turn meter. That's really cool right off the bat. Will also attack all enemies if the first attack is critical. He is an attack-based champion, so you're definitely going to be building 100% crit. This AoE attack has a 75% chance of placing a 25% weaken debuff for 2 turns, and then will also place an HP burn debuff for 2 turns after the attack on the enemies whose turn meter are below 30%. So pretty much I think you're going to be able to book this to 100% chance of placing the weaken, and then the whole HP burn thing, so you're definitely going to be landing at least 1 HP burn, technically, as long as the turn meter can be fully depleted by his A3. So you'll be getting at least 1 HP burn, and then possibly multiple HP burns depending on the rest of the wave or whatnot. So I think that's really cool. You're pretty much getting out of his whole kit, right? You're getting a decreased defense, a weaken, a decreased accuracy, and a possible HP burn, possibly multiple HP burns. So definitely bringing a lot to the table. Now the A3 is going to be on a 6-turn cooldown, which is why you drop it by 2 based off the A1 killing someone. I don't know if they're going to allow books to lower that, just because I think their whole goal is to try to get the A1 to lower that, but that is a pretty huge cooldown, so I'm hoping you will be able to actually drop that in books. Then we have his passive, Stayed, I guess is how you're going to say it. Fills a champion's turn meter by 10% every time they are hit. Occurs once per hit, and then also fills a champion's turn meter by 20% whenever an ally dies. So not a big fan of this passive, and the reason is because he's an attack-based champion, right? So you don't want him being hit too often. Now, in terms of using him in dungeons and Doom Tower and stuff like that, or clan boss even, there's a lot of AoE abilities, right? So he is going to be hit regardless. So if he has enough health or at least protection, I don't think it's a bad passive, just because obviously he'll be taking more turns, getting through. With his A3 possibly being on such a long cooldown, meaning he'll have a higher chance of using the A1 to possibly kill someone, because A2 and A1 pretty much cycling through until the A3 comes back up and that type of stuff. So overall, I don't think the passive is absolutely horrible, but I definitely, relying on getting hit in order to proc a passive is kind of weird, especially for an attack-based champion. So my opinion, the passive could have been better, but we'll see how he is. Like I said, I'm hoping his multipliers are just really, really good. But yeah, so that is it for his kit, guys. So pretty much nothing on the A1, possible cooldown drop on the A1 if you kill something. On the A2, you're getting a decreased defense AoE and a decreased accuracy AoE. And then the A3, you're getting a turn meter depletion, a full turn meter depletion, an AoE 25% weaken, and then possibly multiple HP burns depending on turn meters. So he's definitely bringing a lot. Like I said, I think he'll do very well in dungeons, Doom Tower, possibly PvP. Also, I think Faction Wars, he's an automatic go-to because he's bringing that AoE decreased defense and accuracy. So overall, I think, even if he wasn't a dwarf, I think he'd be worth going for, in my opinion. I am very always go for the fusions if it's possible. It is going to be a classic fusion though, so they are definitely harder, but with the bump in potion keeps, with the tournament going on for champion training, this is good as time as any to pretty much prepare for it, right? So yeah, overall I like the champion. I like what he brings as a kit. I think he's actually going to do very well. He looks awesome like most of the dwarves do. So yeah, that is my opinion. Hopefully you guys will be going for it. Let me know what you guys think of this champion. Let me know if you guys will be going for it. Hopefully we don't have another fiasco like having to participate in every single event. Hopefully we will be able to keep some of the epics, or at least be able to earn some of the epics through the events, unlike last time where we had to sack everything in order to fuse. I believe it was Brogni. But yeah, so let me know. I will talk to you guys later. See ya.